Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today on the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. If you're new to this channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. For you only today, for the new subscribers, if you hit that button today only, free of charge. Promise you 100% if you hit that subscribe button, free of charge. If you're already subscribed, don't do it. It will charge you. Trust me, I've tried it already. The wife got charged. She didn't appreciate it. So don't do it. If you're new, hit the subscribe button today only, free of charge, I promise. All right, all kidding around. So today we're gonna get into something a little bit kind of fun and different. So this comes from basically J.W. Rutledge Distillery. So what is that? So Jim Rutledge, former master distiller for Four Roses, also kind of the barrel coordinator for Blue Run Spirits in what they do. But this is going to be Jim's first run at producing like his own rye whiskey under their own brand, the J.W. Rutledge Distillery. So we'll see exactly what this has to offer today. So this is coming in, again, this is a rye whiskey coming in at 97 proof or 48.5% ABV. Here's where it's kind of very interesting. I think this is a very fun and interesting kind of twist. This is from the standpoint of MASHBILLs, it's 4 different states. So let me kind of just read this a little bit. So it's the Kentucky Artisan Distillery as one of them, Midwest Distillery out of Ohio, MGP out of the state of Indiana, and New York Distilling, obviously out of the state of New York. Now, all different mash bills. Mash bills individually were undisclosed, so we don't know exactly what each one is. But again, it's a blend of 4 different mash bills from 4 different states. So I'd like to see something a little bit different and unique, which this absolutely is. It is, again, non-age stated. And the MSRP on this is going to be right around that $50, $55 price point, give or take, depending on what state you're in. I don't know the full allocation of how many states this is in right now, but I think it's in roughly half of them. So I'll leave it at that. I don't know what all of those states are, but I think there's a decent distribution at this point. So, all right, why don't we go ahead and we'll kind of get into the review. So as you can see, kind of a light copper type of color, something you'd kind of, expect in a whiskey. And again, these are all going to be straight rye whiskeys. So without there being technically an age statement, these should all be a minimum of 4 years old. So we'll kind of see how this all shakes out in terms of what this has to offer. So again, light, kind of medium copper type of color on that. Move the whiskey around. Actually nice oils. That's one thing I do like to see on this. I don't know if there's any chill filtration or anything going on, but there are some really nice oils on this. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into the nose. Oh, so right away, a really nice kind of fresh mint note to that. Touch of lemon, maybe like a lemon grass, a lemon cake, something like that. Like a medium, like milk chocolate, almost like a mint chocolate chip ice cream. A little bit of black pepper. I'd say medium oak. It's not over oak by any means. Yeah, like maybe of a black or white pepper, something like that. It's almost more of like a white pepper. There's not the intense that a black pepper will give. So the white pepper sometimes can be a little bit more, a little softer, but still let you know that it's a pepper influence. And I'd say here's kind of where some of the herbaceousness of this comes in. There's a little bit of a green tea. I would say not quite black tea. I think sometimes with the green teas, you get a little bit more sweetness versus like a black tea where you get more of that heavy like herbal influence. This I think is more along the lines of a green tea where there might be a little bit more of that sweetness that's there. And I'd say a little bit of a grassy aspect. There smells like a little bit of youthfulness that's in this. And one other thing I'm kind of picking up on is a little bit of like a cornflake or a like malted barley. I don't know if in one or a few of the mash bills there's something with a higher malted barley aspect, but I'm getting kind of that floral, that kind of grain or that corn, that kind of like cornflake or malted barley aspect to it. So I don't know exactly what is in each mash bill, but I'm picking up on a little bit of that malted barley aspect on this one. Yeah, all right, well, let's go ahead and kind of see what this has to offer. We'll get into the taste. Cheers. So again, very similar to the nose. So immediately you get that nice kind of like sweet or fresh mint aspect on that. Really nice allspice. Not getting a lot of heat. You wouldn't expect to get a lot of it, you know, at 97 proof. Does let you know there's a little something that's there. No Kentucky hug or anything along those lines. But again, nice allspice. Maybe some of that like cinnamon, nutmeg, things along those lines. But nice allspice aspect in terms of whatever that blend would be for an allspice. You're getting that kind of nice spicy characteristic that's there to it. Definitely a little bit of that like lemon, lemongrass, lemon cake. I don't want to go as far as saying there's like pastry notes or anything. I don't think there's anything necessarily like that. But you do get a little bit of that like kind of lemony aspect that's there to it. Maybe like a lemon sorbet or something like that. Maybe a little medium milk chocolate aspect to that as well. Not super sweet on the chocolate part of it. Definitely some of that pepper, maybe more again along the lines of a white pepper, not quite as bold as like a cracked black pepper, something like that. Again, I think some of that herbal characteristic comes out, a little bit more of the green tea, and I think the green tea only because it's a little bit more on the sweeter side versus the black tea, which can be a little bit more pungent if you've had, you know, those kind of teas before. Actually, some caramel notes are kind of starting to come out a little bit. Little more of that kind of fresh caramel. Maybe even a touch of citrus as well. Nice mints again, continue to linger. Yeah, definitely, yeah, some more of that mint. A little bit of that grassy aspect that's still there to it. And again, I don't know if the grass part of it is, or hay is more of the herbal part of it, more of like what you get from the green tea. I don't know if I'm kind of mixing those two a little bit together, but there's something that's there that leads you to what that profile would be of like it being a little bit more grainy from the standpoint of not necessarily like a youthfulness, but kind of that. So it's a little bit interesting in terms of what that aspect or that twist has on it. And I would definitely say, sipping on it, there is that malted barley aspect. And again, I don't know what, or if there's one that has a higher content of malted barley, because I think it goes all the way from like a 51% rye mash bill all the way to upwards of 100% rye mash bill. So I don't know all the individual mash bills. I just know that it starts at 51% and works its way up to, you know, one that's in there that's at least a 100% rye whiskey. So very interesting in terms of what the blend of these mash bills really are. I'll do a little bit of digging. If I find out what exactly the mash bills are, I'll post or put an update in the description below. So yeah, definitely some of that green apple, maybe more of the green apple is starting to come out a little bit in that. And that's probably more of the finish part of it. I still think you do get some of those nice caramels, definitely some nice sweet mint, fresh mint that's there, some green apple. I would say, you know, the more I kind of talk, the more I kind of get myself into one of those, it being a little bit more on the herbal side of things, some more lemon, lemongrass, things along those lines. You know, it's a nice rye. I think at $55, 97 proof, this might be a nice rye for somebody who's looking to kind of get into, you know, rye whiskeys. Very approachable, nice mints, some nice sweetness, you know, a little bit of those herbal characteristics. So I don't think any of those are off-putting. I think it's done well enough that it's a nice blend and really kind of offers up something a little bit different and unique. So the one thing that's intriguing to me is, you know, the 4 different states, the 4 different mash bills all being blended together to create this whiskey. So I like that transparency. I like the fact that they're doing something a little bit different versus from one distillery. So, you know, Jim Rutledge, again, this is his twist or spin on, you know, his idea of an introductory rye whiskey. So I think he's done a nice job with this one, and it has its place within the market. So I'll leave it at that. You know, so there you have it. So again, J.W. Rutledge Distillery, this is the High Plains rye whiskey. So 97 proof. Want to say thank you so much for tuning in to another one of my reviews. Greatly appreciate all of the support. And like I said at the beginning of the video, today only, if you hit that subscribe button, free of charge. I promise you, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you do it before this video is over, free of charge, I promise. So, all right, all kidding aside. So if you want to help support the channel, greatly appreciate that. A link in the description below to the Patreon page. Not only is it channel support, but it gets you part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. Jason and I do a lot of barrel picks. We offer those up to the Patreon community only. So, you know, if that's something of interest, consider hitting or consider checking that out. Link in the description below. So again, thank you so much for tuning in to another one of my reviews. And as always, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.